Now let's explore discipline 2, multipliers of momentum. Multipliers are the bridge between the spark of possibility and the system of transformation. Momentum compounds when talent multiplies, not by scale of effort, but by reach of influence. Transformation scales because of multipliers, talent that extends its impact beyond the boundaries of role or function. So, what makes someone a multiplier? It is never a single trait. It is the composite of 4 forces. Skill, the baseline of executional excellence. Strategy, the discernment to align work with enterprise direction. Coachability, the humility to learn, adapt, and pass knowledge forward. And finally, luck, the serendipity of timing and opportunity, which we cannot manufacture but can prepare for. When these 4 forces align, something remarkable happens. Multipliers create value that endures. Their contribution is not confined to a project or a quarter. It travels across teams, across ventures, and across horizons. They extend impact in ways that outlast roles and cycles. Their presence compounds, not because of title or visibility, but because the systems they touch are permanently elevated by their contribution. This is the quiet dividend of transformation. Talent whose value is measured not in transactions, but in trajectories. Catalysts can ignite momentum, but multipliers ensure it spreads. They are the ones who convert individual excellence into collective motion until transformation becomes more than the sum of the parts. Momentum compounds when talent multiplies, joining skill with strategy, humility with timing, until transformation becomes unstoppable. But principles only matter if they hold up in the field. And this is where the spark from discipline 1 had to evolve. The same example, now from a different vantage point, because the spark can ignite, but it only scales when multipliers take hold. So, let's continue. The spark was provided by the organization, and I was ready to engage. But we needed early wins to gain the confidence of the entire sales organization. The mandate was bold: take the very best and make them even better. The challenge was obvious. If a team is already among the top performers, why risk challenging anything? Why become the experiment? The answer was evidence. If we introduce a spark into an account, 1 year later, the results had to be measurable. These were not small accounts. Each was already generating 5 million or more. So I asked management for 90 days. Time to assess personalities, depth of customer relationships, appetite for change, and share of wallet potential. At the end, I would identify 4 out of 10 accounts worth this concentrated effort. Not the easiest, but the ones with the most potential multipliers. 2 accounts surfaced quickly. They had the skill. They were coachable as thought partners, and they were willing to extend their existing strategy. And it also appeared that timing was on our side. A budget cycle where we could aim for new business without losing ground on the existing book. The other two accounts were not there yet. Skill was not the issue, but strategy and coachability were. They were risk averse to the point of paralysis. So we made a choice: prove the methodology with the first two, bring the others along once there was evidence in motion. The risk was real. If it failed, the spark would fizzle. But if it worked, the system would have no choice but to change. And it did. It worked. The early results created credibility, and credibility opened the door for the second pair of accounts. That became the blueprint. Success did not stay isolated, it traveled. One account grew 150% in the first year, from 5 million to over 12. 4 years later, it became the top account in the enterprise, scaling past 40 million, with dedicated teams in North America, EMEA, and Asia Pacific. Another account went from 0 to 15 million in just 2 years. The resistance to the overlay function disappeared in the organization. What began as hesitation turned into accelerated demand. And over time, the hiring standard itself changed. No longer, I'll deliver the results, don't worry about the how, but I'm multiplier-ready, skilled, strategic, coachable, able to scale impact beyond my role. That was the quiet turning point. What began with 2 accounts spread to 10 and then 56. And what started with a few sparks created a system where multipliers became the expectation, not the exception. That is the essence of multipliers. Their contribution compounds until the system itself is permanently elevated. Because in the end, multipliers do not just scale outcomes. They scale belief. And belief is what carries transformation from possibility to permanence.